Hello friends, good evening again. Hope everyone is doing well. As usual, if you can hear me, just say hi, hello, and then we can get started. Let's see some hellos. Hope everyone can hear me now. Yeah, hi Sandeep. Good evening. I see we have 10 people already online, so we will just wait for another 30 seconds and then we can start. Right, hey Vijay, hey Anisha, hey Ashwin, hello, hey Shankar, hey Arun, hey Hemant. Good evening. A lot of people, 14 people we have. Okay, I think let's get started. Okay, hello. So hey Arun, hey Ninad. Okay, before we start today, I'm going to before looking into the Nifty, let's quickly take into look at the mid cap and small caps, because today the markets went high, but a lot of portfolios were in red. But luckily our portfolio was not in red. Our portfolio was up around 1%, thanks to Bhushan Steel and Apar Industries. But let's just take a look at the mid cap charts, right, before we proceed with Nifty, right? So the resistance that I'm looking at is this resistance around here, right? And if you connect these parallel channel, now if you see this, this is a perfect parallel channel because of this here, jump here, here, and here. Right now, this is an anomaly. That's because of the crash. But otherwise, on the top, you have this point and that point. So as of now, there is no problem at all. Nothing to worry. We might even break out on the higher side. Don't just go and sell off everything tomorrow. But what we need to look at is, or what levels that I'll be looking at for is, just to be on the safer side, I'd be looking at this level over here. Let me take a parallel channel, right? So I'll be looking at this parallel channel. Right now, if you see this parallel channel, how I have drawn this, so this is one, that's the second one, kind of touching there, not perfectly, third one, and we have the fourth one. And on this side, if you see, we have this point, and this point, right? So that's a perfect parallel channel. Now, in case if I have to be worried about the mid cap and small cap indexes falling down, then I will not be worried until we close below this point. Right now, this is the level for mid cap index to watch out for is 26,997 or 27,000 around, right? So that's the level we have to watch out for when we close on a weekly basis or on a daily basis. So until we don't close below that, there's nothing to really worry. Keep holding your stocks, even though the mid cap index might self correct and a lot of stocks might correct. Many strong stocks, like if you've seen our portfolio today, Bhushan Steel or even Apar Industries did not correct much, right? So that's called strength. In some stocks will always have strength, because those stocks, the fundamental story is really good and there's still a lot of upside left. That's why people keep buying every dip. So don't just sell off your stock just because you think that the stock is going down. Okay, otherwise, let's start off with Nifty today. So Nifty had a pretty good day, right? Overall, if you see today, again, we had another green day. Now, the power of consolidation, this is the power of consolidation. So whenever you're looking for stocks, even you can look out for some stocks which are going into long consolidation. Now, just always remember, the longer the consolidation, the bigger the move up. Right now, if you see, we've almost done around 400 points. Now almost 300 points we've done in just a matter of 2 days, when the consolidation was within around a 400-500 points range. Right now, that's the power of strong consolidation breakouts. But let's just look into the charts, what happened today. So today we spoke about this parallel channel yesterday, right? Not a perfect one though, right? But we said probably this is the parallel channel we have to look out for, and we will not short until this trend line is broken on the downside. Right now, if you see today, we had gapped up, and then we had a strong move in the first half, and then we started consolidating. Now, always remember, in markets, whenever there's a strong move in any stock or any index, just don't short the first dip. You should never short the first dip, because the first dip will always be bought. Right, so just wait for a higher low to form. And if you see, actually here we are still not formed a lower high and lower low. We are still in the higher high, higher low structure. Like if you just use the pivots, you will see clearly that we've still not made a low high low low. If you see this, say 16204, 16219, and we again made a higher high here, right? So the markets still are not favorable for shorts, but let's look at the pattern that is forming today. So if you look at the intraday charts, I'm just going to take this point, and if you connect this point, you'll see that's a clear trend line, a beautiful trend line support with at least 4 touch points, right? So if you see here, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So that's a nice trend line. A trend line with more than three touch points is very valid. So that's what the market is doing as of today. And if you're looking for any plan for tomorrow, then probably I would short if we break this trend line and head higher, right? Probably the stop loss of 1627. So maybe let's look at the long plan first. So long plan would be to go long, above 16290, so above that high. So if you just delete everything, I'll just make a proper plan. Yeah, so if we go above that high, then probably we can go long. So that would be around 16290 odd. So that's the highest point. So if you go above 16290, then you can probably have the 40-50 point stop, or even a stop at 16245. But that's 45 point stop, right? So if you're comfortable, take that long trade. Otherwise, wait for a dip, and then you can take that long trade. But tomorrow, let's say if you don't gap up above 16, that level, if you don't gap up there, but rather let's say we open somewhere here, even that's a favorable long setup. You can keep a stop, very close stop, around 16240 around, and you can actually go long. Probably you might head higher, we never know, right? But in case, so that's the long, so gap up, or if we open somewhere around here, then we can go long. The short plan would be to go short below this point, which is 16240 odd levels. So basically, if a long stop loss hits, then you basically go short, and then we expect probably a dip in tomorrow's session. But right now the markets are very extended, at least the index is very extended, and I think shorting opportunities might be favorable, but only if we break this trend line. Until we break this trend line, there'll be no shorting opportunities. Now, some other trend lines that you have to watch for is this trend line over here, right? So if you see, this trend line again has kind of 3 touch points, not a perfect 3 touch point, but I'm looking at that slope over there. Sorry, just going to get the brush. Yeah, around that point, right, and that point. So probably we might head down here and take support and go up as well. So that's a trend line that you have to watch. And the other trend line that I would be watching is this one, right? So this is the other trend line that I've been watching. Now, if you notice, what has happened here is we were kind of, the trend line was not that steep, but if you see, we have gone like that, right? So that's how trends evolve, and then we again start to consolidate, and then we probably go higher or even go down. No one knows, right? So that's the long and short plan for tomorrow. If you have any doubts about this, do let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, let's head to the favorite part, which is Trade with Trendline Investor series. Now, if you are trading along with me, if you are copying my portfolio, and if you have made some money, do let me know in the comment section, because that'll really motivate me if you're also making money along with me, especially if you're a beginner in the markets, and if you're still not able to get any concepts, then also let me know in the comment section. I can help answer some of the questions. Yeah, but today we had an amazing day, especially with respect to 2 stocks, Apar Industries and Tata Steel Bhushan Limited. We sold off Fact. So we sold off Fact and we bought Tata Steel Bhushan Limited, and we have some cash around 3050 rupees left, right? So that's the cash which is left, and tomorrow we'll deploy that cash. We'll come to that shortly. Okay, so but if you see, I updated the sheet as soon as I bought 132 shares at 98.9, and I sold off Fact at 138. It went to 135. Now, one of the reasons I sold off Fact is because it just had a one-day rise. Otherwise, it never went up. It never showed any signs of strength. So that was kind of a weak signal for me, and that's one of the reasons why I sold off Fact. Right now, probably it might head higher, no one knows, but for now we had only this one green day and this one green day. Rest all the candles have been red, and for me, I did not want to keep my capital stuck here, and I saw Tata Steel Bhushan Limited was moving higher, so that's the reason why I shifted to Tata Steel Bhushan Limited. Now, just looking at other stocks, so right now, if you see, Apar Industries is around 34.6% of a portfolio. Consumer Nerolac is around 22%. Tata Steel Bhushan Limited now is right now 23% around, and Angel Broking is around 15%. So all our stocks are still in green, and we had a day's P&L went up by 1.4%. Right, I think one of a few portfolios where we saw green, and even here, if you see, we sold off Fact and we bought this, and even then, I think selling Fact was a good decision probably for today. I'm not sure for the next coming days, but that's how our portfolio stands as of today. All right, so just jumping into the charts. So I'm going to open the charts. So let's look at the charts one by one. So finally, we had a green day in Apar Industries after a couple of red days and then small green days. But the sell-off on the top is still a problem. So, but what I'm going to do is, in case we have a correction in small caps, I don't want this to also correct. So I moved my stop loss now from 600 to this low 646. So I made it 640. 640. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, so I've made my stop loss 670, right? So that's my trailing stop loss. If you see here, sorry, 646. So I'm going to keep my stop loss around 640. That's not 670, 640, 45. Okay, just rounding it off. So we're locking in around 3,700 rupees profit. So Apar Industries, that's the reason. Now the reason is, if you go to the hourly charts, you will see that we are kind of trending around that trend line. Right, so I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. Yeah, so that's the trend line I'm looking at, and probably we are going to go a few more days sideways, and then probably we'll head higher. Right, so that's it's probably an ascending triangle. Right, so because we have that, if you see the rejection, so today that on the 20th July the high was 723, and if you see again today, the high was almost 723, right, 722.9. So we're going to probably go a few more days sideways and then head higher. So for now, the stop loss, as I said, Apar Industries comes to this day low, which is around 645, right? 646.5. I'm rounding off to 645. But otherwise, nice volumes today. If the mid cap and small cap had done well, probably we'd have went higher. But I think it's a decent day. Next is Tata Steel Bhushan Limited. Now, I think I hope you're learning along with me, because I said when this day, I said we are probably going to consolidate because of that resistance over there. And if you see, we had 3 days of consolidation, and then today we went up. Now, this is a sign. Today we had results also coming in. It was a beautiful result. In fact, very good results, but we did not have support from the markets, especially the mid-cap index. So kind of had some selling there, but we did have not a bad close, but I would have preferred to close above 98.2, 98.4. If I had closed above that level, I'd have been more happy. But for now, we've added more, and we have kept a stop loss to 92.6. So 92.5. So that's our stop loss for Tata Steel Bhushan Limited. And tomorrow, if this goes above, probably if it goes above 98.2, 98.5, I will probably deploy the remaining 3,000 cash that I have in this stock. Right, so that's the plan for Tata Steel Bhushan Limited. Kansai Nerolac did not. We are having higher daily. The lows are not getting broken still, so that's a good sign. But still, it's just consolidating, going sideways. So not heading higher. So right now, I'm not doing anything. Just holding the position that we have. Next is Angel Broking. Again, a red day today, but we are right around the trend line, right? So again, tomorrow, if Angel Broking goes probably above, today's high, which is around 1350, I may probably even deploy the 3,000 extra, which I have even in this stock. Now, I will deploy the 3,000, again, repeating, either in Tata Steel Bhushan Limited or in Angel Broking, right? These two stocks. So we have only 4 stocks as of today. So that's the plan, right? So apart from this, I think from the watch list, the stock that is really looking strong is India Mart. I've personally added it in my personal portfolio. So I've added India Mart today because it did look strong. We had 2 good days of volumes, and we are trying to break around 7,500. So I've taken a first position, and probably I will add more above 7,500. If you see that resistance over there, right? It's kind of a rectangle pattern, you might say. So let's take a rectangle and show you. Right, so that's kind of a rectangle pattern around that zone, and if you break above 7,500, we can see more move on the higher side. But do note, on a bad day, mid-cap day, this is in a green. That's one of the reason I'm selecting this. And also JubilantIngrevia also looks good. It's around 1% up, and also we spoke about the trend line. It's right around the trend line. We had again a dip, but it wasn't sold off. It's a nice candle today, 1% up. So that's also one of the stocks that you can look at. EaseMyTrip is kind of doing a retest. right? So yeah, it's kind of doing a retest. So tomorrow, if you want to add, you can add retest. You can add EaseMyTrip. It's up to you completely. Okay, otherwise I don't find any other stock which is really good. Sun TV also has probably retest. You can look at Sun TV as well, right? So jumping into the journal. So this journal is very important. If you're not maintaining this journal, do maintain this journal. It's very, very important to track your trades and see how you're performing. And also, when you look back after 50 trades, you will know the mistakes that you're doing, right? So I will probably take a separate session on this journal and how to use this and how to calculate, right? So as of today, if you see, we are up 4.8%. Now, if you see, we are on a steady rise, right? So after the dip, we have been in a steady rise. Now, this is in spite of our losses that we have booked. So if you go to trades close sheet, you see we have booked around 5 trades were in loss, 2 trades were in no minor profits, but still, just because of a couple of stocks, we are making all the money that we're making. Now that's the game about markets. The winning trades should give you most of the money. 80% of the profits will come from 20% of the stocks, and this should be in your mind, and you should accept losses and get out of stocks which are not moving well. Now you can go back and look at the stocks that we have exited. They have not given a great move, right? So you can just go back and check these stocks. Exiting these were a perfect decision, and I did that purely because other stocks are going up. I moved this money there, and some stops hit, so I exited the stock. So that's how the markets, you should be trading in markets. And the market should tell you which stock you should be buying more, which stock you should be selling and getting out, right? So as of today, 35% of the portfolio is around in Apar Industries, around 29.8% is in Tata Steel Bhushan Limited, 23% in Kanzan Nerolac, and Angel Broking has 15%. Right now, Apar Industries, probably we're going to give it some more time, but for now, it has given us really good profits. As of today, even if the stop loss hits, we will not be losing any money. In fact, we'll be making 3,700 rupees, which is 3.7% returns on our portfolio. Right, and other stocks still have some losses, and if overall portfolio heat, if you see, we are right now in the positive side. So even if all our stop losses hit, we will be ending at 99,000 on a 1 lakh capital, right? So that's just 1% stop. So even if you have a mid cap crash tomorrow and the coming weeks, I will not be losing much, right? So that's how you trade. I have around 3,000 rupees cash, so that we'll deploy it tomorrow either in Tata Steel Bhushan Limited or in Angel Broking, depending on whichever moves higher. Right, I will do, if you're not subscribed to the Telegram channel, do subscribe. I will update I'll give the updates there. So that's the update. In case you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. Now let's look at the questions that you have. Right, so we have a lot of people today who have joined. Sandeep Sandy says your call on PNB was superb, right? See, it's a process, right? You need to follow your process, and I will probably look at that PNB thing which I did, because I will also teach you a concept today, which was confluence of support, right? So one of the reasons why PNB came in my radar was because of Repco Home. So Repco Home yesterday came in my scanner, and then I thought probably even I should be checking even PNB Housing Finance, because both are from the same sector. But Repco Home, why it came in my scanner is because it went above CCI minus 100. So I'll just show you why Repco came in my scanner, because yesterday, if you see, it was coming back above minus 100. Here it is not showing, but charting was showing that, and that's why I said let's check PNB Housing, and I found PNB Housing, and that's how I got the stock. Now, something important note is the confluence of support zones. Right now, this is a trend line support, and then we have a horizontal support. Now, when you have two support zones together, that is probably a very good setup, because that zone is going to act as a very strong support zone. And the reason also why I recommend it is, if you go to the weekly chart, right, you will see that since the 21st week of June, the weekly candle is not going. We had a doji after 2 weeks of fall. We had a doji, then we just kept going sideways, then we went up, then it's called 3 black crows or something like that, I don't know, and then we had now a green day. Now, such kind of setups are very low risk setups. You will hardly lose 0.5% of your capital, because even if at a 0.5% capital, you can take a big position in this. Like if you had taken a position today, you'd have probably taken 20% position size, and you could have already made around 1% of your overall portfolio as profits, right? So, but these kind of setups are beautiful, but you should know how to draw trend lines and identify support and resistance. Okay, so that's Thanks, Sandeep. But yeah, that was a good call. Ashwin asked, your thumbnail was the perfect mind was. Yes, a lot of people have been saying that today on Twitter, and that's why that thumbnail makes a lot of sense today. Hi, Sagar. Good evening. Dinesh asked, next major support for Finolex Industries, please, and what should be the stop loss for long term? See, there's nothing long term and short term for me. For me, a stop loss is a stop loss. A stop loss can, sorry, Finolex. A stop loss can hit trade tomorrow in the next 1 year. Never hits a stop loss is a stop loss, right? So Finolex Industries. So if you're holding for long term, go to the weekly charts, and probably your stop should be around here. If you think this is a very good company, but if you find that stop is too deep, then probably you want to keep it somewhere around here, right? So that should be the level that you should be looking at. So either keep around 162 if you don't want 160 odd level, but on a daily closing basis, or if you have a very small capital allocated to it, you can even keep on weekly closing basis, or you can keep even a deep stop loss around 114, right? So it completely depends on you how you want to take it. But for me, I would not keep such a deep stop loss, because for me my capital is more important, and I would probably get out and look at it later again, right? So that's my view, Dinesh. My views on Subex. Ninad has a question. My views on Subex. Yeah, Subex. See, it's a beautiful uptrend. So until the levels of 50 is not taken out, I would continue to hold Subex. If the trend line is broken, then I don't really. Yeah, trend line is broken on the log scale, but do check on the linear scale. Right. So. Yeah, we have broken the trend line on linear scale, but keep a stop around 50. Probably it might go sideways consolidation and then head higher. The reason I'm saying is keep a trailing stop loss is keep stop loss is 50 is because the digital story in India is really, really good. Every company is posting excellent results, and Subex is a turnaround candidate, and that's the reason I'm mentioning that. But don't exit unless it goes below 50. Okay, that's my view on Subex. Your view on Kothari Petrochemical, any upside seen? Yes, Akshay, let me check this. If you bought it recently, last 2 days, that's a very bad buy, but it can go higher. It is looking strong. Maybe it came down because of the markets today, but I hold this with a stop loss around 38 out levels, and I think this can head higher, right? So I'm just looking at the long-term charts. Okay, so it got rejected right around the all-time highs for now, but I think it can head higher. The volumes look good. Just keep a stop loss on 38, and you can continue to hold this stock, or even if you're a short-term trader, keep around 40 also is fine. So that's my view. Rita asks, thank you, nice analysis. Could you share your views on Jindal SAW? Yes. Yeah, it is again in a beautiful uptrend. In fact, it's one of the positive stocks today, in spite of the downside in mid caps and small caps. But I think there is a major resistance around 167. So I'd say probably wait for it to head higher around 167. If it reaches 167, 170, then just ask me again and I can provide views. But for now, it's heading towards 170 odd, and it is one of the stocks which was in green today, so no problem on Jindal SAW. Rita, I hope that answers. Akshat, Rbl Bank and Krbl. Yes, let's look at it. I'm sorry, I think I already answered Rbl Bank. It's in a bad shape. I told already this. There's no reason to hold Rbl Bank. Get out of the stock. Or if you still want to hold it, the maximum stop I'll hold is 169. That's the stop I would keep. If it goes below 169, it's going even lower, right? Or below 155. If it goes below 155, it's probably heading to 136. I already told that this stock is in a bad shape, I think in one of the previous sessions. So I hope that view helps. Don't hold stocks which are in a downtrend. KRB looks fantastic. It has kind of moved today very well, and it is an uptrend, right? It has broken out of this downtrend. It is just starting an uptrend probably. Maybe the stock heads higher while the index does not head higher. No one knows, but if it heads above 320 odd, then it's going to give probably a inverted head and shoulders breakout, and that's a pattern that I love. So just hold the stock for now with a stop around 260 odd, and probably this is heading higher. Today the volume looks good. Okay, that's a good one. Tata Motors is buy suggestible. Yes, Tata Motors you can buy, but keep a strict stop loss because there is a nice range here. So keep a strict stop loss around 280. Now that's the range. It has to break out above that range, and then if it breaks out, then we are heading higher. You can buy now, but always keep a stop loss. Stop loss is the most important thing. 280 is a stop, and don't allocate too much money. Allocate the money only that you can afford to lose, right? So that's my view on Tata Motors. Sagar asks Deepak Fertilizer and Stovak Industries. I think Deepak Fertilizer is about to give a breakout, all-time high breakout. It is consolidating right around that 2017 highs. So I think it has given a close. Yeah, it has given a close today above, and it is also one of the stocks which have closed in the positive territory. So continue to hold Deepak. If you're already holding, you can keep a stop around 380 odd, right? So that's my view. Stovak Industries, it's listed only in BSE. It seems to be in an uptrend. Yeah, you can continue to hold Stovak also, right? In fact, I think it will head higher. Not a good day for the stock itself today, but it has just broken out recently from a downtrend. Right, so just continue to hold Stovak. If you want to stop, then I'd suggest, if you're a short-term trader, keep a stop around 2,600, and if you're an investor, probably, if you're looking for long-term, then 2,200 probably. That's a stop. So please analyze CNX small cap index. It's the same as Vijay. It's the same as CNX mid cap. There's not much difference in small cap and mid cap. Both are in a similar structure. So if it breaks down, I will let you know on Twitter. But otherwise, unless it's the same. Suvas asks, in which type of price action should we sell in strength, and which should we trail with technical stop loss? I missed many big opportunities. You need to stick to one. You need to find your style of trading. You need to find which suits you, and then you need to decide that. No one can tell you this, right? Now, if you know, I think one of the guys on Twitter who does it is Zerodha. He does sell in strength, but I trail my stop. Now, it's his style that he prefers, and I have my own style, right? So it is up to you what kind of trend you want to catch. Do you want to catch the very short-term trends, or do you want to catch the very long-term trends? Personally, I believe the long-term trends are not, it comes once every few years, but the short-term trends are always there. But you need to have a different trading style according to your different environments. Right now, we are on a big bull trend, and that's why I'm doing trend following. But usually, even I tend to book small profits sometimes, but most of the times I do follow big trends. So as it's completely up to you how you want to trade. No one can come and teach you this. It is very common right now in this environment, in this bull run, to get confused between these two strategies, and that's where you keep hopping from here to there. But start looking at your trades from a risk reward perspective, right? For example, if you see today, Apar Industries, the reason I moved my stop loss to 645 is because I'm already sitting on a 3.5 hour profit, which means if I risked 1 rupee in the market, I'm making 3.5 times my initial risk. So that's why I'm trailing my stop loss aggressively, right? I didn't want to lose much. Otherwise, let's say if this was last year in April, then I'd have given some more room because the trend was just starting. But right now, we are in a heated bull market, and I don't want to lose much in case the market turns around. So I'd suggest to sit back, go back, look in your trading journal and see how your trades are, and see what makes you comfortable, and you need to stick to one of the strategies that can help you make money. Okay. Anisha asks, though I came a bit late, but bought Tata Steel Bhushan today, sir, trying to channel your calmness in my trading aptitude. Yes, that's the main reason why I'm here. I'm trying to teach you that to stay calm and to allocate capital. Now, most of the beginners have problem in allocating capital and managing risk, and that's the key point that I'm going to teach you. Okay. So when I ask your view on Methane alloys and suggest some trading stop loss, the next resistance look for, I think, yeah, Methane alloys is in a strong uptrend. Trading stop loss, keep around 1,000. Resistance, I don't think you should be looking at resistance. This is a very strong strong stock. It can head much higher. There's a lot of potential I see, because this is in a beautiful parallel channel. It can probably even double or triple from here, but for now, no one knows that. So trail your stop, keep it to 1,000. And ride this beautiful trend, right? So that's my view on my alloys. Rahul is asking, why sudden steep fall in small and mid cap? I have no clue. It is pure demand and supply. In the last couple of months, small cap and mid caps were going up, but Nifty wasn't going up. Now Nifty is going up, small cap and mid caps are not going up. So you can't really question. Just go with the flow and see what happens, right? Bhumik is asking, what's the stop loss for CAMS? The stop loss for CAMS should be 2836. Now again, if you see, I've spoken about this parallel channel before, right? So again, we had a breakout here, and we're having a good move. I'm sorry. So if you're a short-term trader, your stop loss can be 3100, but if you're investing, then you can probably keep around 2700 stop for CAMS. Wabag looks good, Akash. I in fact posted on Twitter some time back. It's one of the good trades. Wabag has a lot of potential to go up. Keep a stop loss on 340 and just ride the trend. So that's my view on Wabag. Could you shed some light on relative rotation graphs, sir? Are they helpful in identifying sectors? Sorry, Anisha, I don't really use relative rotation graphs. I purely go by relative strength. I talked about relative strength on my Twitter channel. You can go and see, and which sectors are doing well. That's all. I don't use any rotation graphs. Jaydev asks, what is my view on Archies? Archies is looking good. Keep a stop around 20. Probably can head higher. It has broken out of the downtrend. Keep a stop loss around 20, and short term, if you're an investor, then probably want to keep around 15 odd levels. Okay, so that's my view on Archies. HAL is also setting me nicely. Your view? HAL is Hindustan Aeronautical Limited. Sorry, Hindustan. Yeah. I need a breakout. So right now it's taking support around a trend line maybe, right? But I need a breakout, a clear breakout, and follow up, right? So it is contracting nicely, probably a cup and handle, but yeah, I'll probably look at it about 1160 odd, right? That's my view. Okay, alkyl amine view. Alkyl amine. Yeah, it is an uptrend, nothing to worry. Keep a stop around 3460. So that's my view, Akshay. So as you post a chart of small cap, so we have to be cautious in small cap or mid cap stop. You don't have to really worry. Keep a stop loss for each of your stocks. That's simple, and just keep following that, right? So Akshay, that's my advice. Just because small cap and mid cap stop are resistance right now, no one knows whether it'll break out and head higher. But for now, just keep a stop loss in individual stocks. Individual stocks can still continue to perform. Okay. Suman asks, Elgai equipment thinking to keep it till 200 level as stop loss. Your view? Also shed light on Sangi movers. Yeah, Suman, let's quickly check that. Elgai, yeah, keep a stop around 195, right? So I think it can head lower. It is kind of breaking down. I could be a distribution pattern. I am not sure, but for now, keep a stop around 190, and if it goes below that, please exit. Okay, so that's my view on Elgai, LG or whatever that is. Sangvi movers, let's check this. Yeah, again here, keep a stop around 180 odd. But this chart looks good. It has broken out from a beautiful downtrend, and probably inverted head and shoulders breakout as well. So keep a stop around 180, right? So around that low, 180 odd, and to hold short-term trader. But if you're long-term, always go on the weekly charts and you can check. So if you're long-term looking, then 160 odd is the stop loss. Okay, that's my view. ICICI Bank is really good, looking good, Arun. It has given a beautiful breakout. In fact, I'm expecting the large caps to perform, especially banks to perform going well. They're one of the lagging sectors, but it has given a beautiful breakout in the week of 19 July, and it is going up. Okay, so ICICI Bank also looks good, Arun. View on main and pistons, Akshay is asking. Yeah, it's a beautiful trend. If you're holding such stocks, continue to hold, right? So keep your stop around 27 odd, and it setup looks very good, Akshay. So I think I've covered all the questions for today. So the only thing I'd like to conclude or mention and conclude today is, always trail your stops. We never know how big the bull market can go or how far it can go. And also remember, if we break out from a channel, then the move can be really furious. So that's why I'm saying don't exit as of now. A small cap index, again, someone asked, so I'm just checking that. So if we break out from this channel, I'm sorry, I took a wrong indicator. So if we break out from this, channel here, then the move is going to be fierce. I've been talking about parallel channels always. Right now, we are probably getting rejected. We don't know yet, but probably it might head higher as well. No one knows. So if we head higher, then it's going to be a terrific move. So don't miss it, and always trail your stop losses. Right. So I hope, I've answered all your questions. So if you like this video, do like the video before you leave this live session, and do subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, right? Because I do this daily and I give my views for stocks, and do share this with your friends, and let's help everyone learn. Otherwise, have a safe trading day tomorrow, and I hope markets move up and our portfolios move up, and have a nice evening. Good night. Thank you.